Case study: Luxor vs. Cooper 1941. Introduction. Luxor vs. Cooper, a notable case from 1941, delved into critical aspects of contract law, marking its significance within legal history. This case revolved around a dispute between Luxor, the plaintiff, and Cooper, the defendant, set against the backdrop of World War II. This case unfolded in a tumultuous period of legal and social upheaval, offering insights into the complexities of contractual relationships during times of crisis. Background. The backdrop of Luxor v. Cooper traces back to the early 1940s, amidst the chaos and uncertainty of wartime Britain. Luxor, a manufacturing company specializing in essential goods, entered into a contract with Cooper, a supplier of raw materials vital for Luxor's production. However, as the war escalated, shortages of essential materials became prevalent, leading to disruptions in the supply chain and contractual disputes between Luxor and Cooper. The ensuing legal action sought to address the ramifications of these disruptions and their impact on contractual obligations. Parties involved. Luxor, the plaintiff in this case, was a manufacturing company grappling with the challenges posed by wartime shortages and disruptions. Cooper, the defendant, was a supplier of raw materials whose actions came under scrutiny for purported breaches of contractual obligations. Both parties played crucial roles in the contractual relationship, which formed the crux of the legal dispute. Legal issue. At the heart of Luxor v. Cooper lay the question of contractual performance amidst the exigencies of war. The primary legal issue revolved around whether Luxor could hold Cooper liable for failing to fulfill its contractual obligations in light of wartime shortages and disruptions. The case raised broader questions about the applicability of contractual principles during times of crisis and the extent to which external factors could excuse non-performance. Procedural history. Before reaching the courts, Luxor and Cooper attempted to resolve their disputes through negotiation and mediation. However, failing to reach a mutually acceptable resolution, Luxor initiated legal proceedings against Cooper. The case progressed through various procedural stages, including pleadings, discovery, and PI trial motions, before being heard by the court. Arguments. Luxor argued that Cooper had failed to deliver the requisite raw materials in accordance with the terms of the contract, thereby breaching their contractual obligations. Luxor contended that the disruptions caused by wartime shortages did not absolve Cooper of its responsibility to fulfill the contract. Cooper, on the other hand, maintained that the unprecedented circumstances of war rendered performance impossible and excused its non-performance under the doctrine of frustration. Both parties presented detailed arguments, supported by evidence and legal precedents to bolster their respective positions before the court. Court's analysis. The court engaged in a thorough analysis of the contractual terms and the circumstances surrounding Luxor and Cooper's contractual relationship. Central to the court's deliberation was the interpretation of the contract and the application of legal principles governing contractual performance. The court scrutinized the evidence presented, including testimonies from witnesses and documentary records of the transaction to ascertain the parties' respective rights and obligations. Decision. After careful consideration, the court rendered its decision, ruling in favor of Luxor. The court determined that while wartime shortages and disruptions may have posed challenges, they did not relieve Cooper of its contractual obligations. The court held that Cooper had breached the contract by failing to deliver the agreed-upon raw materials, and therefore Luxor was entitled to remedies for the losses incurred as a result of the breach. Impact. Luxor vs. Cooper 1941 had significant implications for contract law, particularly in the context of wartime exigencies. The case reaffirmed the principle that contractual obligations remain enforceable even in times of crisis, albeit subject to certain exceptions. The decision underscored the importance of upholding contractual commitments and providing remedies for breaches, even amidst challenging circumstances. Conclusion. In conclusion, Luxor vs. Cooper 1941 stands as a poignant reminder of the complexities inherent in contractual relationships, especially during times of crisis. Through its meticulous analysis and reasoned decision, the court reaffirmed the enduring relevance of contractual principles and the imperative of upholding contractual obligations, even amidst the chaos of war. As such, the case continues to serve as a guiding precedent for future interpretations of contractual disputes, offering valuable insights into the intersection of law, commerce, and society. If you are a law student and looking for more case studies, visit our website www.mylawtutor.net.